Are you a small business owner looking to hire an employee? Well, you're going to want to listen to this. I'm Sean. I'm a CPA, and I started Ledger Ready because most service-based business owners don't have time to figure out their finances. They're being pulled in too many directions and don't even know where to start. I've heard it time and time again. They want to grow, hire, and invest, but feel paralyzed because they're unsure what they can truly afford. Without a system for budgeting, forecasting, and understanding cash flow, big decisions feel risky. As a CPA, I've seen firsthand how even a little clarity can unlock confidence and momentum, and Ledger Ready exists to make that clarity fast, simple, and actually useful. Now, I was just speaking to a small business owner that I know a few days ago, and I was asking her, what tools would be helpful to you? I'm looking to develop something that I think many service business owners would find useful. And she said, Sean, I just wish I knew how much an employee is going to cost me. I'm looking to hire, and it's just, it's not that I don't know how to, research the costs and figure it out. It's just simply that I just don't have the time to go, look at all of these little things and figure it out. So I wish there was just a simple tool that I had that would do that for me. So today, I'm going to show you just a quick, simple spreadsheet that I put together. I'm going to polish it up before I make it available to everyone. But today, I just wanted to walk through how simple this is and recognizing that small business owners don't have the time to do this on their own. So I'm going to do it for you, but wanted to show you what that looks like so you know what to expect. So this is my spreadsheet. You might hear me clicking around here during the video as I walk you through how this works. Now, a lot of this is, a lot of the costs of an employee are state driven. So it depends on what state you live in. But I will talk about that as I'm going through. So starting with the most important number, what's the base compensation? So let's say you're going to hire an employee and you're going to pay them $75,000. So a higher paid employee, you need some help, maybe management level. So that's who that person is. You have you then have payroll taxes. So I looked this up before, but Social Security tax is about 6% of an employee's gross compensation. So we're going to put that in there right there. It's up to $176,100. Any amount that they get paid over that number does not get taxed. Okay, so then you have Medicare, same deal. You have federal unemployment tax, and this is only on the first $7,000 the employee makes. So you're just going to do 6% times 7,000 for this. Now, the state unemployment tax is where it gets a little tricky. So you're going to have to look this up for your individual state. I can't cover everything here in this simple spreadsheet, but if you were to just simply Google state unemployment tax for whatever state you're in, it'll take you most likely to your state's website, and usually it's pretty easy to find how much that is. For purposes of this, I'm going to just assume that it's 5%. So it varies by a lot. I think the highest percentage that I saw was 10% when I was looking. But let's assume 5% for these purposes. Okay, now if you're going to offer benefits to this employee, this can vary by quite a bit. If you have a lot of employees, the cost per employee generally is going to be lower. You can negotiate better rates with your insurance provider. So for these purposes, I'm going to put $10,000 in here, but that could be low, very low, or very high, depending on what kind of plan you're offering. So if you offer dental, this would be dental and vision. They're usually combined. So let's say you're offering, a pretty good plan here, and let's say you're doing, 1,500. What I saw generally ranges from 1 to 2,000 when I was looking it up. 401k match. I usually see, if you offer a 401k plan, I usually see 3% up to a certain amount. So for these purposes, let's just put 3%. Now you don't have to offer a 401k plan. Most people offer some kind of a health insurance benefit, but if you only have 1 or 2 employees, you can get creative with that. Any other perks? So if you're offering like a fitness subsidy or something like that, I'm going to leave that blank for now. But this is just a space there for, that's what would go in there. Sometimes people offer things like that, like $500 for your employees if they want to join a gym or something like that. With a small business, I don't see that a whole lot. Usually it's the larger corporations. They're doing that to try to entice employees to come work for them. Okay, equipment. So let's say this person is an office employee. You need to buy them a computer. I know $1,500 seems high, but you're likely going to buy a more premium computer for them, and you're going to need virus protection software. You're also going to need software licenses, and that can range by quite a bit. So I'm going to put 200 in here. I'm just eyeballing these numbers. So, obviously you're going to know, what software licenses your employee needs, what type of computer you want them to have. So this is the exercise that you would go through. So do they need a vehicle? Are you operating a construction company and they need a pickup truck or, something like that? Or is it a delivery company and you need to buy a delivery vehicle for them to use? I'm going to leave that blank, assuming that this person is like an office person, but that is something to think about here. And payroll processing. So you can just cut someone a check. You don't need a payroll processor, but if you have a large number of employees and you also don't want to deal with computing these taxes and deductions and things like that, a payroll processor will do that for you. And it does vary based on who you choose. I see ADP a lot. And they generally charge a base fee of $100 a month and then another $100 per employee. So let's put $2,400 in here. It may be a lot less than that because, if you just have 5 or 10 employees, you could probably negotiate a lower rate or find a cheaper provider. But I'm just demonstrating for you today, what this cost will be. So this is not very surprising to me. It may be surprising to you just because you're seeing this number. You're like, well, wait a minute, I'm paying this person $75,000, and you're telling me the cost is $102,000. But think about what that includes. That includes like all their benefits, all the taxes that you have to pay as an employer, and equipment, software licenses, and payroll processing. So this is the all-in total cost of your employee. So now let's just say, on a 6-month basis, this is a whole year. So if you're just you're wondering, okay, what's the next 6 months going to be? Oops. It'd be $51,378. Over year, or if you're looking to hire a contractor, that changes things too, because if you're hiring a contractor, then you're not gonna be paying them payroll taxes. You're not gonna be paying them benefits. So if this number is awfully high to you, based on what you've done for your calculation, that's something you can think about as well. So I hope this was helpful to you today. This is my mission. I just want to help small business owners specifically service businesses, get the job done. There's no need to have to spin your wheels trying to figure out all these different accounting things and in the math and the budgeting. You can find free simple tools that accomplish this for you already, or at least make it a lot easier than it needs to be. And so that's what my mission is. That's what I want to do. So if you're interested in this tool, once I've polished it up a bit and finalized it, I also have another tool for forecasting that I already have available for free. So if you're interested in that and you're interested in more tips and tricks, check out my newsletter at ledgerready.work. And that's all for today. I'll see you next time.